Hey everyone, this next video is on it's a police action. They pulled over a guy. Well, the guy was walking down the road, but they pulled up to him. There was thinking that he might have been scaling the wall at the police station. So they wanted to check him out. Of course, they asked for his ID. He refuses. And this isn't about the case, which he ultimately got ticketed with trespassing, as you'll see in this video, which he took to court, according to the narrator of the video, and he lost. And it's really a good thing, because he's a disrespectful piece of crap is what he is. If you listen to him and the way he treats the police officers who were doing nothing wrong, as far as I'm concerned. And this is no way to treat the police. Let's get right into it.
3rd, 2020, Sergeant Jeremy Byrd of the Port Orange Police Department in Florida received a text that City Councilman Drew Bastian had called him to report seeing an individual dressed.
This is a Florida situation.
Film over a wall located on the perimeter of the Port Orange Police Department. According to his police report, Sergeant Byrd sent Officer Preston, Officer Yovanovich, and Acting Sergeant Kurtz to attempt to locate the quote-unquote subject, who was later identified as James Newmeyer, a local citizen who had visited the police department to attempt to file an officer complaint.
This guy's a piece of work.
Came to believe that Mr. Newmeyer was reported as trying to climb over the wall, and the interaction that followed was captured on body camera.
Somebody's supposedly climbing our wall with a mask on over here. Andre called it in. Yeah, over here. Somewhere on this wall on Clyde, he said. Andre called it in. See anything?
The guy walking on the sidewalk, he had a mask on, he was texting.
In black?
Black pants, black shirt, Caucasian.
Okay. I think that's the guy he was saying was trying to climb our wall there, because Andre saw it, so 12 to 15. Go ahead.
So they're looking for this guy for potentially climbing the police department wall.
Dressed all in black. Supposedly he's walking down this way.
He's walking north.
So.
Charlie 90, Patrol 6 at McDonald's call.
Excuse me.
Hello. Hey, were you trying to come over our wall here?
Hell no. Do I look stupid?
No? We'll get you for 1 second, because we had a call of a guy dressed in black that was climbing up on one of our walls there.
Do I look stupid? He said.
Uh-huh. Do you have an ID card with you? Let me call. I'll call Fleming. Hey, Sarge. Can you call Fleming?
She asked for his ID. The guy responded, "What have I done wrong?"
Who do you message? What's that? Was that you?
Which was hard to see right there, but he did refuse to ID.
Oh, so he didn't see it?
No, he didn't.
Jesus Christ.
All right, yeah, I think I'm going to have to go to court next week.
All right. Well, great. I thought he saw.
Well, he's doing it like that.
Yeah. All right.
He's refusing to give his name or any information.
Hey, I don't like cops. I don't talk to cops. I don't deal with cops. I was minding my business, looking at my phone, walking down the
stated
side.
Oh, he's saying he hates the police.
that he was inside the lobby trying to make an officer complaint. Okay. Figured out it was closed, so he left the the lobby, and came onto the road. The sidewalk, and came this way. So he was trying to make a complaint, but
okay. Well, I can help you with that.
No, you can't.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't. I'll be here Monday through Friday during business hours to talk to the supervisor.
I am the supervisor.
I don't care.
Well, if you want to make an officer complaint, I'm the guy to talk to.
Put it in writing. You ain't gonna do nothing. You protect the
Sir,
blue
he's a
line
sergeant.
brother. I don't care. You're his blue line brothers. He ain't do.
Say what?
I said you protect.
Here he goes. He starts going off on the cops.
Police. That's what's based on.
You don't know me.
Based on I don't need to know you. You're a blue line. That's all you are to me.
Okay.
You don't give a damn about nobody but your other blue line people.
so we're
Okay.
trying to.
All right.
You're a blue line.
Right now you're harassing me on the side of the road. Am I being detained?
This guy doesn't understand the concept of the thin blue line.
keep an eye on him as he look up.
Fuck all y'all, he said. What a disrespectful prick. There's no reason to treat the police like that. That's just crazy. That is low class.
I don't know. You want to go, Preston? Go to the. See if he's got a tag on the car in the parking lot. Now you're detained for jaywalking, running across Clyde Morris like that.
How else am I gonna cross?
They still don't have him ID'd, and he's very suspicious, and then he was highly disrespectful, so they're going to keep after him.
You're detained,
You're illegally detaining me.
and now you have to identify.
They got him for jaywalking, though.
I want your supervisor. I didn't do anything wrong. I committed no crimes. I am not giving you my ID.
Sergeant Byrd tells Mr. Newmeyer that he must give identification because
Now, he ultimately gets his ID because he was getting cited for trespassing, but he's not happy about it.
actually allows pedestrians to cross a roadway outside of a crosswalk as long as they use
This gets into a bunch of legalese,
angles to the curb or by the
but
to the opposite curb. There is an exception to this general rule, as the statute
he's going to get worse in his disrespect and his dehumanization of the police that are there, that are doing nothing wrong, as far as I can tell. And he has every right to do that, obviously, because of the First Amendment, freedom of speech. But there should be civility and politeness and respect for the officers, especially in all situations and all interactions with the cops. Not just your freedom to, spout out anything that you want to in a dehumanizing and disrespectful way, which is what this guy is about to do. He's not terrible. I've seen a lot worse, but he makes his views known about police. And wait to the end of this video where these people that do this video, they're called Audit the Audit. They give this guy an A, this disrespectful, dehumanizing piece of crap, and then they give the cops a C. And the cops really did everything by the book. So it just shows you the bias of Audit the Audit. These are all First Amendment auditors, which do a good job as far as protecting the First Amendment rights that we have, but do a terrible job in the delivery of how they do that. Most of them are very disrespectful and impolite and unkind and just low down, dirty individuals as they make their YouTube videos. And that's really what they do, is they go out in public and they try to incite the crowd, the public, into calling the police. The police show up, and then they film the interaction with the police. And some police are better than others. Some auditors out there are respectful. Amagansett Press is one. Long Island Audits is another. But a lot of these, like this guy here, they're highly biased, and the actual auditor is highly disrespectful to the police. So let's see what happens.
Jaywalking is a traffic infraction
I didn't jaywalk.
for which you are lawfully detained.
I didn't jaywalk.
Actually,
You're unlawfully detaining me. I did not jaywalk.
I actually saw you myself,
No,
so-
yes, I understand that.
I saw you from- I saw you
You
from
are
the parking lot
allowed
over
to
here.
cross the street if there is not an intersection within 150 feet. You're allowed to
Not
cross
with
the
traffic
street
coming.
at a 90-degree angle. There was no traffic
There's a
coming.
lot of
You were the
traffic.
closest traffic, and you were far enough away from me to make it safely. You guys just want to ID me illegally, so go ahead. If that's really what you want to do, take my wallet. Terry v. Ohio says you're not allowed to dig into my pockets without a reason. So if you're
So he's just being difficult.
filed against you, go ahead. I will sue you.
threaten them with lawsuits, and that's what these guys do. Is they hope that the police break the law somehow, step on their civil rights accidentally or purposefully. But then they sue the city, and the citizens of the town have to pay that bill. So they not only tie up the police with their ridiculous antics and tie up all the resources in the town, but they end up causing a lot of waste in litigation and expense.
Supreme Court stated in the 1991 case of Florida versus Bostic that, quote, even when officers have no basis for suspecting a particular individual, they may generally ask to examine the individual's identification as long.
So this gets into the legalese of this video, and you can watch this video on the Audit's YouTube site without my narration. My only point is there's a way to exercise your First Amendment right. It's with the police. Politeness, respect should be included in that. Respect for the police and being polite to the police. Not being a prick like this guy is. You know, the police's job is difficult enough as it is. They don't need these guys, these YouTubers coming out there tying up their time and dehumanizing them in the process, calling them insults, low down, dirty rats, and terrible occupation, and tyrant. Tyrant is the phrase of the day with these First Amendment auditors.
After he was threatened with arrest for failure to ID. Therefore, if a court concluded that the officers did not have the reasonable suspicion necessary,
so they're taking his cuffs off,
Mr. Neumeier, it would likely also find that the threat of arrest,
giving him a citation,
taking any consent received from.
But Neumeier's got a few choice words to come.
Right to pull me over. You got no reason to be messing with me. You just heard somebody called and probably didn't call and said that somebody looked over your wall over there, and now y'all
Here he goes.
want to come punish somebody. So that's why we're here right now going through this.
Situation.
And you would have never said a damn word.
Go ahead and take the cuffs off. We'll sign him for jaywalking, and he can move on.
And I want all your name and badge numbers.
That's fine.
You have no legal right to detain me right now.
Okay.
You think I don't do this all the time? I know exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
You cannot write me a ticket for jaywalking if I'm over 150 feet away from a crosswalk.
Think I don't do this all the time? Of course he does. That's all he does. He's looking for lawsuits. He's like the lawyer and a citizen going around the state looking for hotels that aren't fully in compliant with the American Disabilities Act. In just a minute way, they'll end up suing for $100,000.
Mr. Neumeier argues
The parasites.
they wanted to force him to identify himself. As we have discussed before here on ATA, the Supreme Court has repeatedly stated that an officer's subjective motivations are irrelevant to the analysis of whether a seizure violates the Fourth Amendment. Instead, courts must determine whether a seizure is quote-unquote objectively reasonable under the totality of the circumstances. In this situation, this means that if a court concluded that the officers had objective reasonable suspicion to believe that Mr. Neumeier had committed a pedestrian violation, it would likely also find that it was constitutionally reasonable to detain and identify him, even if the detention was entirely a pretext for the officers' actual stated goal of learning Mr. Neumeier's name. On the other hand, because reasonable suspicion...
All they got to do in court when he goes to court with something like this is show this video to the judge, and the judge will basically see what a prick this guy is.
An identification violated the Fourth Amendment.
Sight.
Ain't nothing wrong with me. I ain't no psych. I'm perfectly, totally sane, dude.
Citation.
And
I'll see all of you in court for it, too, because I ain't do nothing wrong.
That's fine.
I am legally allowed to cross the street if I'm more than 150 feet from an intersection and I cross at a 90-degree angle. That is the law. You have no right.
Not with
the
cars
only
coming.
reason that you are doing this is so
Okay.
you can force me to give you my name. That's why people don't like me. You're the reason this
For the third time, he tells them.
Just go ahead and issue it.
Listen to that dehumanizing. He said, that's why people don't like you, to the police. I mean, that's just terrible.
Just not at a 90-degree angle, or what was?
No, there was cars coming. I had to hit the brakes.
Oh, okay.
And there was other cars behind me.
Okay. What are you doing for impeding traffic or jaywalking?
Jaywalking.
Because I know there's two different. Looking at that now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It says every pedestrian crossing a roadway at any point other than a marked crosswalk or within an unmarked crosswalk at any intersection shall yield right of way to all vehicles upon roadway.
You say when he went to PD?
He wouldn't tell us. You said something about filing a complaint, so I offered to help him with that.
I mean, nobody could see it, but didn't Andre?
A citizen called him.
Oh, I thought.
You don't file a complaint. That's what these guys always do. That usually gives them the reason to go into a government office, is to file a complaint or to do a FOIA request or something like that. These are just excuses as a way to get in there and stay in there and get footage for their YouTube subscriber consumption. Meanwhile, tying up the police resources, all in the name of the First Amendment, which, you know, really the First Amendment deserves such respect, but there's a proper way to do it in terms of treating everybody with respect.
Down the street, and now you want to force me to tell you my name. Guess what? It don't matter. I'm gonna be out here tomorrow. I'm gonna be out here the day after. I'm gonna be out here the day after. I'm gonna be out here every day.
No.
Okay. I don't got a problem
I'm
with
gonna
that.
show you tyrants what's up. I didn't do a damn thing.
He's got nothing to do except be there day in and day out, day in and day out.
I was well over 150 feet from the intersection. I crossed at a 90-degree angle, and there was no traffic coming. You're a liar.
Says you, but that's not true.
Well, yeah, who's gonna believe me over a blue line thug gang member like you? You don't give a damn about the citizens. You're nothing but a
Called him a blue line thug gang member.
for the city and state.
They're just cussing him, and the cops have to take it. I just want to point out what lowlifes they are treating the police like this. It's their legal right, but it's, you know, there are polite ways to do things and ways to do things with class. Not what this guy's doing.
After the encounter, Mr. Newmeyer challenged the pedestrian citation in court, and he reported that a judge found him guilty. However, the court records are not publicly available online for me to confirm the resolution of his case. It is unknown whether Mr. Newmeyer appealed his conviction, filed a complaint, or pursued legal action against Sergeant Byrd and the Port Orange officers. Overall, Sergeant Byrd and the Port Orange
Guilty.
C at best.
So it doesn't always work out for the First Amendment auditors. Yeah, please. Come on. The cops get an A.
In order to force him to identify himself, or lied about Mr. Newmeyer's conduct in order to justify a Fourth Amendment seizure. While Sergeant Byrd's body camera footage suggests that he did not actually have to slow down to avoid hitting Mr. Newmeyer, the camera did not capture enough of the road to determine definitively whether or not Mr. Newmeyer failed to yield the right of way to passing traffic. However, if Sergeant Byrd actually did falsify testimony in order to detain Mr. Newmeyer, well, then he and the officers certainly deserve an F. It is unclear why the officers became so concerned with identifying Mr. Newmeyer for simply filming in the area near the police department, and it raises the possibility that the officers' reaction had something to do with the fact that Mr. Newmeyer was attempting to file an officer complaint. On the whole, this encounter demonstrates the way that authority to conduct pretextual stops can allow officers to target citizens for reasons other than their stated intent.
It's ridiculous giving those cops a C on that stop. You know, a B maybe, but I think they deserved an A. And they give this dirtbag an A. How is that possible? I mean, they're giving him an A for knowing the basics of the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment, but they're totally ignoring his dehumanizing speech and his disrespect. And really, he should get the C. He really should get an F because of his behavior.
Still conclude that Sergeant Byrd had reasonable suspicion to detain Mr. Newmeyer based on evidence of a failure to yield, even if that evidence did not influence his actual reasoning for the initial seizure. I cannot say for certain whether
If.
But I commend Mr. Newmeyer for advocating for his rights and voicing his dissent to the officer.
Of course you can't. You weren't there.
Or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments.
Yeah, in such a disrespectful way. Come on, give me a break.